before we move on, man, I have heard tires screeching. I've heard belts pop, pistons go through the engine block, and that only means we've never had a Straight Talk Express like this. I mean, this is one of those ones where, John McCain would really throw up his arms instead of doing that weird motion he does because they got broken like the war and stuff. But, this is going to be a very heated. So buckle up. I have my passive and active restraint system here. Got the airbag ready because I think it's going to slam into us. So, Chris, we know you have some things to talk about. Go on, my friend.
Okay, Mevio, go f yourselves. Ooh. Chris, you are a useless piece of shit.
Can I interject?
Yes.
As one of the Lethal Interjection crew said from the Boondocks, I think it was Snoop's Flownominal character. I think he told Granddad this. Mevio, you can eat a sack of baby dicks.
A sack of baby dicks.
Yes. But go ahead, Chris. Sorry, I just wanted to.
Yeah. So, as our listeners know from Mecha Talk and Facebook, where we've commented on this, Mevio just decided last week to fuck all you podcasters. You're done. So, without notice, they took down everyone's RSS feeds, suspended all these accounts, which affected Chaos Theater and Laplace's box. And for days and days and days, they did not respond to any emails and said nothing. There's even a story on TechCrunch about it, which they declined to comment on. And then finally, at the end of the week, they sent out a form letter, which I'm going to perform a dramatic reading of.
Oh, man. Look at you, John Lithgow. Go ahead.
Dear Chris, we hope you will accept our sincere apologies for the inconvenience caused by deactivating your Mevio accounts. Our goal is to provide our viewers with the highest quality, brand-safe video online entertainment. Recently, while conducting a review, we found some content uploaded by account holders that did not meet these standards. Therefore, we had to remove the ability to upload content from all user accounts that did not produce approved featured content via a license agreement with Mevio. As a result, your podcast was affected by this process. Please be assured that your content is not lost or deleted. Thank you for your patience while we developed an acceptable solution to provide access to your content. Beginning February 4th, 2012 until February 7th, 2012, your account will be reactivated to provide you the opportunity to access and download all your content. In recent years, Mevio has evolved from a podcast company into a thriving online video entertainment network delivering big entertainment in short video format. If you are interested in helping us build a quality, short-form, brand-safe video entertainment network, please submit a new show for consideration. We are always looking for quality video shows for all our entertainment channels. Again, our apologies for the inconvenience of not having immediate access to your content without your communications. If you have any questions or concerns, please contact blah 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 at blahblahblah.com. Thank you for working with Mevio. We wish you continued success with your shows. Regards, Mevio's production team.
Oh, that's a lot to drop on someone.
Okay, so here's my thing with Mevio. You dumb fuckers did everything ass backwards. You know, it is not uncommon for companies to want to, shift and refocus and re-strategize and rebrand and all of those stupid, business euphemisms that you want to use. I'm sure Neo has heard plenty of them.
Yes.
But here's the thing. If you are moving away from providing a service that you now provide, it is your duty, the least duty that you have, to inform said people who will be affected by your changes. You don't fucking randomly remove everyone's RSS feed for hundreds of podcasts, because it's not just us that was affected. Some of our friends, good old Foul Sorceress and Smell Bad podcast was affected. Our pal Suspicious Red Lamp and the Triple D was affected.
Yep.
I'm sure lots of other podcasts out there of many subject matters were affected by this that came completely without notice, and even worse, not only without notice, but complete avoidance of any communication for a full week, because I sent 3 emails, each increasingly more angry, to Mevio, asking them what the hell are they doing and why can't they give me an explanation for what they're doing. I called their office and just got sent to a voicemail. They declined to comment to TechCrunch about what they did. And finally, at the end of the week, they put up a dumb little thing about your account being suspended with some of the same boilerplate from the letter I just read.
Yeah.
And then finally sent out this letter at the end of the week of, what's going on, which is just a generic form letter, because that was the one that was sent to Chaos Theater. The exact same one was sent to Laplace's box.
Yeah.
So at least they're letting us export our content. But, again, would it have hurt them to just do the sensible thing, which is tell everyone in advance, like, hey, in 2 weeks we're going to stop hosting all of these podcasts. You have until then to make new arrangements for your content. Thank you. We are shifting to being a video site. Would that have hurt them so badly to do that?
They could have done that at the beginning of the year. They could have told people at the beginning, as of January 1st, you have 30 days to get your affairs in order, because we're shifting our focus to video, and thank you for being with us, but if you can rescue your content, this is now the time. Instead, they left people. They left people twisting in the wind for a week, and you could see the panic in people's responses on the actual thread. There's a producers thread on Google Groups that all the mevio producers, or at least a good majority of them, are at, and no one knew what the hell was going on for days. And then, finally we had to just scramble onto the internet, look up for, as Chris mentioned, that TechCrunch article and other articles that were speculating what was going on in the news, but no one really had definitive stuff. But pretty much what they were speculating was on the money. And then, people just knew that there was change in the air, and that, if they could get access to their content, they'd have very little time to move their stuff over. And sure enough, that's exactly what came to pass.
Yeah, and this is not exactly rocket science here or brain surgery. You tell people that you are making a change in your service. For example, in the last year, Google has discontinued a lot of extraneous services that are not matching the core of what they're trying to do, but they gave you months and months and months of notice in advance that they were going to be doing this.
Absolutely.
With regular communication. For example, just before this, they finally shut down their failed Google Wave. But they announced that 4 or 5 months ago. So people had all of that time to back up their data and to move it to, I think it's being continued as an open source project somewhere else. They're working with people on doing that. Why could Mevio just not have done the sensible thing here and told people in advance that this is happening? Because what the hell do you do? When I'm trying to log in for Chaos Theater in Laplace's box, it's telling me that my account's been suspended. It's like, well, what did I do? You're not giving me any information. When I email them, they don't respond. So what kind of bullshit is that? That's the best way to create ill will for yourself, because now maybe they don't care about pissing off podcasters because they see themselves as a fancy video site, even though all of their videos are shit. Especially, and I'm sure you've had to sit through a few seconds of this whenever you log in Solbro. That stupid series, Hot Off the Net.
Yeah,
it's permanently pinned to the top of the page of, today we have some news on who Kim Kardashian is f***ing right now, in case you care, because you're a vapid, useless human being. Ha ha ha. I mean, yeah, the girl reading the news is kind of cute, but it's a shitty series.
It's terrible. And how are you going to compete? Are you going to make yourself a video site with video content that's exclusive to only a few, when you compete with YouTube, where everybody's already putting up their own content and has built up their own viewer basis and whatnot?
But that's not the point. Who cares about that? I mean,
the thing is in their email where they mention brand safe twice in 2 paragraphs. All they want to do is provide cheap garbage content for the masses that will attract big advertisers.
Yeah.
And I mean, the point just comes down to that if you're going to do something like this, hell, even if they gave you 24 hours notice, it would have been better than what they gave. Yeah. I mean, it's not like you have to do something like Google where they gave you months and months, but the fact that they never even said anything, and then secondly, they never even responded to any emails, and then they put out a weak-willed form email, like Chris had stated to everybody, saying, oh, we'll give you more updates within 12 hours. Well, guess what? It's been like 48, probably, what now, like 60 hours since that, and nothing. So, yeah, I mean, it's a classic case of what not to do if you ever own a business. Yep. You don't sit there and you just be a complete dick. And if you're gonna,
you don't burn bridges because even if they don't care about pissing off podcasters, I'm going to tell anyone who cares to listen from now on how much Mevio sucks and how much it should be avoided. And I'm sure that hundreds of other equally spurned podcasters will do the same. So now you have a bunch of people evangelizing against you how much you suck.
And on top of that, there's podcasters who are friends of podcasters who have independent podcasts elsewhere who, will probably echo this same sentiment. And what's worse is that, just to let people know, Gundamn wasn't affected by that. It wasn't affected with it at all, but Gundamn is tied to other podcasts. So you still cut off our arm when you did this. And so, we're now moving our show to another service because we don't know when they're going to pull the plug on our show. We managed to dodge the bullet, but we can't trust.
For how long?
Yeah, we can't trust them in this situation because they gave us no advance notice. Who knows that in a couple days when the whole thing where they want us to move our content goes away on the 7th of February, who knows if Gundam's going to be left standing on their service either. So, they didn't give us any kind of details as to what's going down, who's staying, who's going. And, when the blackout happened, Gundamn was the only podcast from MAHQ or Shinjuku Station left standing.
Yeah, because Shinjuku Station at the movies also got taken down.
Yeah, and all the other Shinjuku Station shows, whether it be Flip the Script or Fight Club or all that stuff, has been also got the suspension as well. Like I said, the only show joint between MAHQ and Shinjuku Station that was left standing on their service was Gundamn. That was it.
Even our friends at the Tomocast got taken down.
Yep. Wow.
So, it was just an axe just wildly swinging and cutting anything. And, now that there's all this ill will against them, and if you searched a few days ago for the hashtag Mevio on Twitter, boy, you find a lot of pissed off people. And there's this story now on TechCrunch, and for those of you who maybe are not familiar with the like sort of world of technology and the business of technology, TechCrunch is very, very widely read by venture capitalists, angel investors, lots of people who have millions of dollars to make things happen for you or not happen. And if Mevio is going through a round of funding and they want to attract people, those people that they're going to try to attract will have read TechCrunch and looked them up and read all of the negative comments on that article, including one from me.
Wow.
And they'll probably think twice about, hey, is this a service that we want to invest money in? Look at this shocking example of poor management.
It's an egregious example. It's terrible. I just, so many people count on this service in order to get their podcasts out, and the least they could have done is give them an advance notice.
And I know that, we're, in a sense, it's like, it's a free hosting service, but if you're offering a service, the least duty that you have to people is communication.
Yeah, especially it's a service that provides communication.
Well, it's like I said. I mean, any notice would have been better than no notice. I mean, even if they said you have 48 hours to get your stuff, at least you got something. This was just nothing, and then no response for days. So
and it didn't matter whether your podcast had been with them in the old pod show days. Like I read a blog from someone who had their show up since 2006 and had been consistently putting out episodes, and their show got shit canned. And Chris's the MAHQ podcast, who haven't been out that long, they got shit canned. It didn't matter how much legacy your show had. They were just massacring shows across the board, and there's no way to treat people who have been with you for so long and have supported your site for so long. It's a terrible move, man.
I read one comment on the TechCrunch story from a guy who said that he had like 300 episodes.
Man,
that he had on Mevio. So it's like let me tell you, this has been a very stressful week for me. You know, trying to scramble to find a hosting service to accommodate all 3 shows, trying to find some way to move our content, looking into what we have to do to redirect the iTunes RSS feed. All of this stuff, like, really unnecessary stress that could have been prevented by, you know, meaningful communication in advance.
Exactly.
And it's not been fun this last week. Like, I've had a lot of calls back and forth with Dale, with Pedro, with Neo, with Solbro. Like, what do we do about this? Lots of emails with people back and forth. Just a lot of extra work that could have been a lot less painless had Mevio just been responsible.
And just to throw this out there for any of our fellow podcasters who are in this situation, we did eventually come across a solution. Chris, if you wanna just enlighten them for a moment about what we ended up doing.
Sure. We have now signed up with Libsyn. You can join them at libsyn.com, libsyn.com. This is not a promotional piece. This is just an FYI. In the month of February, they are doing a special promotion for spurned Mevio podcasters, where if you sign up and use the promo code MEVIO12, that's Mevio and the number 12, they will give you free month of hosting. They will import all of your old content with your RSS feed, and they'll get you up and going. And there's more information about how you do that, but you all can find that. I'm sure the information circulating around, but it's certainly something that is a good solution, and Libsyn has certainly stepped up. And I got to give them props because they've been maintaining communication with Solbro and I ever since Friday into the weekend. They've been very responsive instantaneously. It's like, this is customer service. This is how you treat people. You treat people like people.
Yes.
Not just things that you discard when you're done with them. So, like a phoenix, MAHQ is rising out of the ashes because you can never keep us down. It will now be better than ever because I might as well announce it here that through Libsyn's services, we are in the process of developing an app for Gundamn and Chaos Theater.
Hell yes.
So it'll take a while before this is ready, but we will have smartphone app available in the iTunes Store for iOS and for Android in the Android Market and the Amazon Kindle Fire Store.
That's freaking awesome.
And once it's done, I think that you all will enjoy this because it'll let you download episodes. It has its own built-in player so you can play episodes. You can star episodes as favorites to refer to them later. You can share stuff with social networks. You can send us emails from within the app, say comments about episodes. There's so much that you can do with this app, and I really can't wait for this to be done so that you all can download it and make use of it. It's something I'm very excited about. Probably the most exciting thing since we introduced Chaos Theater in Laplace's box last year. So I'm really looking forward to once this is done. And we will have updates for this as it goes along. We've got a lot of work to do to get those apps up and running, but we will, of course, keep you updated once those are ready to go, and they'll be out there for you to purchase from said markets.
Exactly.
You know what I'll be excited to see, Chris?
Purchasing supports our podcasts.
You know I'll be excited to see?
What's that?
In 12 months here on the financial news, when I hear about Mevio going bankrupt and everybody coming in to do liquidation on all their office furniture and stuff like that, because guess what? Your time is coming, and I would tell everybody not to support them, not to click on any of their crap, and if any investors are listening to this, yeah, put your money somewhere else, because that's going to be a big boondoggle. So
once we're going to be leaving Mevio behind entirely. When you hear this episode, it'll be because it's already posted on Libsyn. We're going to have all our episodes copied over. We're going to redirect all of the links into direct download on Gundam.net and on Mecha Talk, and then every presence of ours on Mevio will be completely deleted. Yep. We don't even want to send any traffic to them by accident. So if you see a link to anything on Mevio, some video, something, don't click it. Don't give them the satisfaction. Don't give them the traffic. Don't give them any attention. Do not give them what they want. I normally don't root for failure, but I make an exception in this case because their behavior has been just so disgusting in this situation.
Woo!
Yeah, it's definitely, and I mean, it's like I said, if any of you guys out there are ever fortunate enough to have your own business, don't do what these people are doing.
Yeah, this is an example of what not to do. And
Yes.
hopefully, by the end of this year, if someone says mevio, be like, mevio who?
Yeah. So, but I think that's enough.
Yes, it is enough. So we're gonna move on. So I'll turn it back to you, Soul Bro.
And this has been a spirited segment and the most interesting news segment we've had in months. Awesome. I'm just kidding.
And the most flubbed.
And the most flubbed, exactly.
Yes.
But we're gonna get on to our reviews of our two shows, Gundam Age and Viper's Creed, and we'll be back with more Gundam at MAHQ in just a moment.